If you're looking to change your life and you don't know where to start, but you found tarot cards for some reason, you've been attracted to spirituality, you've been attracted to these big books about growth mindset. Well, I think I've got the perfect journal for you. This is the Big Talk Journal Growth Mindset. 30 days with 30 big questions, and every day you get a tarot card. And the way that I like to use tarot cards is to guide myself with one prompt, one question, one focus for the day, where I get to expand further on just one aspect. And every card is connected to something larger than us. As always, everything is connected. So, how to do tarot with the sword set. With this journal, you have two key elements. You have the air energy, so the thinking, and you have fire, which is the purpose and the passion. So you're going to be working more with air and fire. The main energy embedded in this journal is the energy of Archangel Michael, who is a leader that brings spiritual knowledge, spiritual truth, who brings justice. This is the energy of somebody who leads with integrity, somebody who values the truth above anything else. And when we set out to expand our mindset, finding the truth usually gives us that freedom to build with a healthier foundation. So Archangel Michael is going to be with you every page of the way. As always, I like to start that every single astrological sign has a house that corresponds to it. So we have the 12 signs and the 12 houses, and each of the houses represents something, and each of the houses has a number. That number can be tracked down to numerology, so you can expand further on that. And then each of the houses and the signs, has a corresponding element. So some signs are going to be more naturally of the element of the earth. So they're going to be more stable, more down to earth. There are going to be signs that are air signs, so they lead with the knowledge. They're going to be talkative. They're going to be bubbly. They're going to have all of these ideas. That's their element. Then you have the signs that are the water signs. So they're going to flow in society. They're going to shift between communities because their abilities, their gifts are to connect with others using that element of the water. And finally, we have the fire signs that are going to spike these big conversations and these big ideas and these big movements. And they're the passion, they're the fire. So whenever you have a fire sign in a community, they're going to be loud because they're meant to get your attention. They're going to spark a discussion, a conversation. And these are four elements that make up everything on Earth. And these are four elements that exist within us. So our natal birth chart covers a mix, a very unique alchemical composition of these elements and these houses. So if you find yourself more attracted to improving yourself, you might have more elements in the sixth house, or your life path might be in the sixth house. And if you find yourself more concerned with the motives behind things, why do people act in a certain way? Why do I act a certain way? You might have elements within the fourth house, or signs within the fourth house, which is all about psychology and emotional security and the subconscious mind, which means that your purpose during your lifetime would be to keep doing research in that area, because that's where you find your biggest breakthrough. That's where you're going to find the answer as to what you're here to create and impact positively society with it. So working with the swords card, starting with the Ace of Swords. Your words can heal or hurt someone. Choose your words wisely. Lead with honesty nonetheless. As I mentioned, this journal has the energy of Archangel Michael. And if you know anything about Archangel Michael, he holds the sword of truth. It's the blue flame. It's the fiery clarity, passion, the truth that comes where you are perhaps startled at first by someone who is able to articulate the truth so powerfully, so honestly, but then you're liberated by it because it has reset the scales. The balance has been restored. Every time we choose to speak in a matter that carries the truth, but it also uplifts other people, we are resetting the balance, because we live in a world that isn't always honest with us. So when somebody leads with the truth, with the integrity, they reset the balance. They make the world a more balanced place, and they restore the balance within those that have witnessed that. So the Ace of Swords is an invitation for you to choose your words wisely and be honest with how you truly feel, but do it in a way that you don't want to cause more pain in the world. The Ace of Swords is linked to the first house, which has to do with identity, self-image, leadership, personality, self-expression, and integrity. So be honest about how you feel, but don't cause more pain in the world. Do it in a gentle way. Maybe you don't want to commit to a certain commitment anymore. Maybe you don't want to be friends with somebody anymore. Do it in a gentle way. The Two of Swords is an invitation for you to kind of take a step back and figure out all of your options. There are multiple ways to approach a situation, open up to new ways of thinking. There is a sense of duality in the Two of Swords, as if you have just two options, when in reality, we always have more than two options. But yes, seeing that card, if you're randomly using tarot cards, might signify that you are reaching a point in your life where you have to make a decision. And sometimes that decision is letting go of the old narratives, letting go of the old habits, creating new thought patterns. That decision isn't always about committing to person A or person B, or job opportunity A or job opportunity B. It's about the internal choices that you make every single day. Do I keep postponing going to the gym? Or do I actually make the choice today to go and show up so that I can be my healthiest self? There are multiple ways to approach a situation. The second house is the house of resources, values, material security, self-worth, union, and balance. It's important for you to bring back the attention to your inner balance, to figure out where your balance might be shaken a little bit and why is it so. The Three of Swords is continuation of that exploration that you've brought the attention back to yourself. So if you look at the first card, you're bringing the truth forward. Perhaps you're bringing the truth to yourself so that you can bring it forward. Then we have the Two of Swords, where you're taking a step back to examine things. And the Three of Swords almost suggest, I found the source. I found the reason why I am feeling out of balance. Remember this, every painful lesson brings wisdom if we take the time to heal and grow from the experience. The Three of Swords is a link to the third house. So the third house is the mindset, thinking, conscious mind, speaking, writing, and communication. You are able to fully vocalize that which happened to you that disrupted your inner balance, that was not really bringing justice to you. Once again, in this journal, you're working with the energy of Archangel Michael, who is the leader that brings justice to the situation. So this card is an invitation for you to figure out where you felt injustice in your own life and heal the wounds, because you're no longer that person that experienced the injustice. You're now the person that can reflect on that experience and figure out what that experience brought to you in terms of a lesson. The Four of Swords is about taking the time to recover your strength, because every deep dive that you go within your mind and you try to figure out the links and you try to figure out what's bringing you down, what's shifting your balance in a way that it's not fully stable, it requires a lot of energy. Doing the inner work requires energy. And if you're trying to build the growth mindset, a very solid growth mindset that allows you to keep expanding and expand with other people, you need to be able to rely on your inner energy as much as possible. And sometimes that means taking time off. Slowing down means taking the time to rest and recover your strength for the next mental battle. Because just because you've discovered something and you've recovered from it does not mean that there aren't other hidden jewels within your mind to discover and heal and integrate. Because that's how we create more space for ideas to come to us. We remove the old memories, we remove the old energetic links that bring us down, that slow us down, that block us, that block our growth. So the fourth house is connected to home, to the family, the roots, the psychology, the emotional security, and the subconscious mind. And this is an integration of whatever you found within your conscious mind. You're now bringing it one step further within to the subconscious mind, where you can lay down the sword. You don't have to fight the battle anymore. You face the injustice, but it's done. So now you can integrate that. Now you can understand, oh, that happened. Maybe I don't know why it happened, but it happened. It happened to me. It did not define me. I am still a lot more than the person that, that thing meant to bring me down to the level of. I am still rising and I'll continue to rise. And then the Five of Swords is the card where we have restored some of that energy and we're ready to go back into the field and we're ready to create, we're ready to explore, we're ready to bring our new beliefs out to play. Change happens first in the mind, then in our behavior. Change your thoughts today. So the fifth house has everything to do with play and entertainment and creativity, pleasure, romance, children. So this is an invitation for you to approach these mental battles, these conflicts, these discussions with people who have different points of view as an opportunity for you to explore. Let's see how we can blend our elements. Don't think about it from a logical point of view. Think about it from elements. Now that you are learning more about the energies of the world, now that you're learning more about your own element, what makes you you, perhaps you're 50% fire, you're 50% air, perhaps you are 30% fire, 30% air, 30% water, and 10% earth. What if the other person in front of you is also the same things, is also the same elements, but they've had a different upbringing, and that's why they're acting the way that they're acting? The world is an interesting place when we allow ourselves to explore it, to play, to connect with people. The Six of Swords then comes as a reminder. To believe in yourself requires courage. You have been granted extraordinary resilience. The Five of Swords almost reminds us that life is not always ideal. And, when we envision a greater vision for ourselves, sometimes we realize, oh, I'm in the wrong room. I'm in the wrong job. I'm in the wrong partnership. That doesn't mean that the change is going to happen overnight. So you start to slowly take steps to remove yourself from these situations that do not serve you, that perhaps served you at some point, but no longer serve you. So the Six of Swords is around taking the steps to actively change your life to align with that version of reality that you want to experience. So the sixth house is the house of self-growth, self-improvement, work, health, nutrition, habits, routines, and service. So this is the house where you have seen a vision of your future, where you are experiencing more joy, where you're able to share more of your ideas, where you're able to grow with the speed that you desire. And now you're taking little steps, you're removing yourself from situations where you don't want to be, and you're investing your energy in smarter ways. Growth takes patience. The Seven of Swords. You have now seen the vision, you have now started taking note of what you can do, and the ideas keep coming. So the Seven of Swords is kind of guiding you to keep thinking about these things. Don't just talk about them, because that will be wasting your energy. Sharing ideas before their time can result in wasting energy instead of investing it. Move in silence. You've seen that you're able to go back into the battlefields, as I like to call them, where you're not in the right environment. So you have to exert more of your energy to defend your beliefs. You realized, I can actually change the room. I am changing, but I can actually also change the room so that I can be appreciated a little bit more for all that I bring. Seven of Swords, don't just explain to people what you're doing. Do it, and then tell the story. So the seventh house is about relationships, partnerships, one-to-one affairs, and commitments. And naturally, this is the universe saying to you, move in silence. That's the best use of your energy. You want to manifest a greater reality for yourself, move in silence. All the tools will be given to you, move in silence. The Eight of Swords is a testing point, because you're going to want to move really fast, but as with any change, slow and steady wins the race. Your current thoughts reveal your current limitations. Dare to dream big and expand your thinking. Once again, we're working with the growth mindset. We're working with shifting our identity on the basis of what we think about ourselves, what we think about the world, what we believe about the world. So the eighth house is about transformation, growth, change, debt, renewal, big feelings, and sex. So we have these topics that we don't necessarily talk about on a day-to-day experience. And so When we transform, because transformation is not something that we're used to seeing around us, we're used to seeing change happen really slow. But now that you've taken charge of your life, you're changing really fast. You're transforming every single day. There's a new version of you, and the world cannot keep up with you. But your challenge now is not to stop, not to dim your light, but to keep expanding, because the world hasn't even seen your greatest version just yet. You haven't seen your greatest version just yet. The Knight of Swords. One more test for you. We let go of the thoughts that haunt and torture us by recognizing they're just thoughts. This is the ego fighting, because the ego is connected to your previous identity. And when you start changing your beliefs, when you start expanding your growth mindset from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, the ego is going to put up a fight. The ego is going to be like, whoa, where do you think you're going without me? Because the ego is comfortable without one identity that you're trying to break free from. So the Nine of Swords is linked to the search for meaning, higher education, life philosophy, journeys and travel. The ninth house brings us this quest for more. And it's an internal quest, but it's also a quest where we start to venture out and start to talk to different people and start to read different books and start to explore different concepts. The Nine of Swords is an invitation for you to be more gentle with yourself, because the biggest attacks on our self-growth journey are going to come from within and our inner circle, because our inner circle are people who are used to seeing us with a specific identity. And if they're not ready to take the journey of changing every single day, then you're going to outgrow them day by day. And then you're like, whoa, wait a minute. We're not growing as fast as you. You have to slow down. And that's the moment where you have to stay strong and stay committed, because you've seen the vision of what life can be. And this is a test for your commitment. How bad do you want to live the life of your dreams? The Ten of Swords is the completion point. This is the point where you recognize all the sacrifices that you've had to make. Let's be honest, when we're expanding our mindset, when we're expanding our life, we will sacrifice a lot of the old beliefs. We'll sacrifice a lot of the old habits, a lot of the old pieces of the lifestyle that served us at one point. But it is still sacrifice, and it still hurts, and it still brings these painful energetic links to loss, because we are losing parts of us, maybe inauthentic parts, but they were still attached to us. And yet, the Ten of Swords is a reminder how far you've walked, how much you've walked from where you started the journey. Impossible is just the word. Champions like you overcome the impossible daily. Let go of the past. This is the jump that you're meant to make. This is the final point where you are absolutely exhausted and you think to yourself, what else do I have to let go of? What else? And this is the point when you reach the 10th house, the house of achievement, recognition, public life, career, goals, and purpose. But because you've been changing so much, your environment has been changing because of your changes, because of your growth. The people that you relied on support, the people that you relied on for recognition are not clapping, because they are in the past, because you've surpassed them in terms of you channeling your potential into the world, and they're not ready yet to take that journey with you. So it's been quiet. You've been moving in silence. You've been moving on your own. This is the point where you reflect on the journey so far. It has been heavy. It has been difficult, but I made it, and I did it on my own. This is the point where you just give yourself the clap and take a nap. Because what comes next is the Page of Swords. It's a new chapter. A beginner's mindset helps us in every situation. Let your curiosity lead the way. There's always more to the story. Just because you've made it to a big new chapter does not mean that you know everything. Just because you've overcome a mountain does not mean that there isn't a greater mountain out there, that there won't be other challenges. Don't let the ego get the best of you. So we've got the 11th house, which is the house of community, collective ideas, humanitarianism, global awareness, clubs, and friends. This is the point of the journey where you get to meet like-minded people. This is the point of the journey where you get to share that new version that you've created with your commitment to daily growth, to expanding your mindset. And this is the point of celebration, where you are still adjusting into the world, where you're still finding where you belong. But you found the greatest discovery that you can do it all. Remember, impossible is just the word. Champions like you overcome the impossible daily. And after that point, we have the Knight of Swords. So to act or not to act, what better time than today to be spontaneous and try something new? And that ties to the Page of Swords. There's always more to the story. There's always more skills to learn. There's always more ideas to consume and integrate. This is the 12th house, spirituality, global mission, self-mastery, mystery, and outer ego. So now that your ego has been, put to the test, challenged and battled, it's time to face the outer ego. And it's time to face a vision for the world where you serve from an even higher place. And so the journey from self-growth to self-mastery just automatically resumes. The Queen of Swords is the divine feminine energy. There's two energies within us, the masculine and the feminine. The masculine is a little bit more logical, the feminine is a little bit more intuitive, and we fluctuate, even in a conversation. When you're talking, now that I'm talking, I'm more in my masculine energy. And if I was to take a step back, if I was to allow other people's ideas to come to me, then that would be the feminine energy. And I can even shift the way that I talk from a masculine to feminine energy. Where it's interesting with this swords set is that the divine feminine energy is very sharp because she carries the air sign element, but she also has that passion. She has the fire because she's connected to source. She's connected to her higher self. And this is where her sharpness comes from. It's from experience, but it's also from her commitment to something greater. You inspire with your mere presence when you let your inner knowledge shine, share your ideas. This is the inner knowing, not just I know what I'm talking about, but I know that I'm channeling. I'm challenging people's ideas, but I'm channeling the ideas that are being given to me from my higher self, from source. This is the inner knowledge that you have accumulated from this lifetime and the lifetimes before this one. And finally, we have the King of Swords, which is the divine masculine energy. So more pragmatic, more logical, more fierce in the sense of the impact that his words can bring out to the world. So he who carries the vision for tomorrow has the responsibility to see it come to life, lead with love. The way that this energy of the King of Swords, of the divine masculine energy that operates within the air sign, is that it's essential that he blends it with the water so that he will not overpower the conversations, but will empower the people around. So the feminine energy is the one that brings a vision that is much higher than the current environment, and that is how she's able to uplift the mindset of the room. The King of Swords, the divine masculine energy that operates within the air sign, has to blend it with love in order to empower people to feel that shift within their hearts, the change of heart. That is the responsibility of the leader. So if you want to challenge your growth mindset, if you want to invest 30 days boot camp for your mind and start to work a little bit more with the air sign, with the fire sign, with the air and fire elements, and get to know the swords card a little bit more, take the growth mindset and see where it takes you. There is a daily intention that is entirely up to you, that is being rebirthed, that is being birthed from your consciousness, from your subconsciousness. And the growth mindset journal gives you a daily big question. It gives you a daily tarot card. It gives you a link to the energies, to the elements. But at the end of the day, they will inspire you to come up with something of your own. Remember that we each have all of the elements. And when you want to work a little bit more with being a leader that leads with the truth, when you want to empower yourself to speak with honesty, with integrity a little bit more, when you want to get that spiritual courage, as I said, Archangel Michael is the energy that I've channeled, that I've worked with while creating the Growth Mindset Journal. And that is an energy that you can use to empower yourself to be a little bit bolder, braver with your words, with your actions, with your dreams.